in Desmos, when you are working with two variable data, the main thing you will be using is a table. Go up to add item here in the table. It'll insert a table. Usually it'll be x1 and y1 as your variables, but I have in their table in this graph. And you can add new rows by pressing enter. And by clicking on these sections over here, you can add more variables. So I could add like a1, a2. You could also add functions of other variables in your table as a new column. So I can do x3 squared. And now for any data point I put in x3, I will also get the square. See that here, this is your squared one. x3 is currently graphed though. Looking at this table, I already have data put in. I can use the zoom fit button to go up to it. You can see a positive, linear, pretty strong correlation here. And when we want to find the regression line, we just use this button up here, add regression, this top left corner. And the best fit line, the least squares regression line, will pop up automatically. Over here, you can see it. You have the equation right here, which the Desmos uses the y equals mx plus b form. It has the same numbers, but just make sure you don't get confused of which is the slope and which is the intercept, because it's not in a plus bx or b0 plus b1x. And you can use actually this button to copy the list, and it'll send it into an expression line. And of course, you have the statistics here, r and r squared. For the residuals, they're set to E1, and if you plot them, a new column will appear called E1 at the regression of each data point, and you can zoom onto them right here, and it'll show you the regression plot. And then if you do the zoom fit of the whole thing again, it'll show you both in one. So you have the regression plot, and you will have your data points. Now, personally, I feel the table can be a little hard to work with. It is very fast and it's very efficient. So if you ever have to work with something quickly on a test, then I would definitely recommend using a table. But sometimes the table can be hard to work with, especially when you're putting data into it from other places. So you can actually do everything you did with the table with just two separate lists. So here I have the same data, but x1 is now L1 and y1 is now L2. What I can do is I can set L2, and then I'm going to use the tilde. I'll use B0 plus B1 L1, and that will give you the regression line, the least squares regression line. And actually, if you want to plot the data points, you can do L1 x2, or whatever your x variable is, comma your y variable. And you cannot zoom fit, but if you know the general parameters, it'll be pretty easy to go to it. And here you already have the same thing, you have the least squares regression line. Right now, if you want to see our residual plot, see our residuals are a list and they are set to the variable E2. So I can do, in parentheses, L1, that is your x, and then E2, that's our residuals. You can see I have the residual plot. I could zoom into this to see a little better. One more thing that is cool about being this kind of tilde thing is it lets you do more than just linear. So you could add one maybe like B2 L1 or B2 L1 squared, let's say, and that gives us a quadratic. So you can add more terms, you can do different types of terms. The table has this, but you could do a lot more customization with it. Of course, you don't get r, but you get r squared, and you still do get the residuals.